Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katina, the creator of Live, Life, Learn, and thank you so much for joining me again today. First, I want to say thank you so much to those who have subscribed to my channel. I'm very excited. Thank you for subscribing to my little channel. It is growing little by little, subscriber by subscriber. And I am super excited that you guys have decided to tune in and watch my little videos. Thank you so much. My goal is just to reach people on the basic levels of financial awareness and just take people along my little journey as I try to get myself out of debt and more stable financially. So today's topic, I want to talk about when and why you should start your debt-free journey. And I have some notes that I taken because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. But again, I want to talk about when and why you should start a debt-free journey. So let's talk about why you should start a debt-free journey. As we all know, debt can be very stressful. It can really take a toll on you mentally, physically, of course, financially. But it can also impact your relationships as well. So it's very important that you focus in and think about how debt is negatively impacting your life, how that makes you feel, how debt is interfering with the things that you want to do in life. There's many things and many goals that we want to achieve in life that requires money. Let's just be honest. Things just simply requires money. So whether that be taking a vacation, whether that be preparing for home ownership, or maybe buying a new car, or perhaps you just want to buy something that's really nice for yourself, or you want to save money. Let's just say you don't want to purchase anything for yourself right now, and you just want to focus on just a level of savings for yourself, or for your children, or for your family as a whole. Or you might have a goal that's going to require a good amount of money. What prevents that from transpiring, that goal from becoming a reality, is debt, okay? So debt can really put a damper on your goals and what you want to do in life, because so many things in this consumeristic society requires you to have money to do it, okay? So debt can really affect your ability to really to achieve your goals, to propel you higher in your financial awareness and your financial dreams. You want to make sure that you figure out why you're not achieving those goals. What is it going to take? And most importantly, you want to figure out why you want to embark upon a debt-free journey. So for me, the reason why I decided to get on the debt-free journey, because it was literally interfering with things I wanted to do. Not for me personally, but also for my family. So for an example, so right now, my husband and I, we're trying to get some things repaired around our house. And y'all already know, if you're homeowners, that costs money, okay? It's a little bit different than renting an apartment. When you're a homeowner, you're responsible for everything that goes wrong in your house, okay? That is on you, okay? So we have some things that we need to repair around our house, and it requires a certain amount of money to get those things done. And when you're in debt and you have a lot of debt, and the majority of your paycheck is going to bills, it's very hard to try to set aside that money for those home repairs in our case, okay? So it's quite the challenge to try to save money to get these things done to the house that need to be done, okay? They are something that need to be done. So it's very challenging to try to get that savings going on trying to deal with the issues and repair concerns around your house when you're under so much debt, because the most of your money in our case is going towards our debt. So most of our income, we get paid. We just have so many bills that we have to pay. So it was just simply time to figure out, why is it that it's important to get on a debt-free journey, okay? And the next question is when is it time to get on a debt-free journey? So again, for me, the why is the stress of it all. The why is I can't do this, we can't do that, we can't get these repairs done and in the time frame in which we would like to, because it's going to cost X amount of dollars, and we have to save up this money, and we have to buy the materials, and we have to pay the plumber, we have to pay the carpenter, we have to pay the electrician. And that's apart from the material. So all of that costs money. And again, when you have debt here and here and here, you just can't quite figure out how you're going to get this money together so that you could achieve your goal of getting, in our case, getting repairs done around our house. But this can affect other areas in your life, like I said. So if you're trying to, maybe you're trying to buy a car and you need a down payment, and if you have some debt that's kind of like hanging over your head, whether that be credit cards or student loans or personal loans or whatever the case may be, medical bills, when you have those sort of things just lingering like that, that's biting on your money. Every time you're getting paid, you got to pay a credit card or 2 or 3 or 10, or you have to pay, maybe you have a large student loan that you have to pay, or you have utilities that you have to pay. But those things really does impact your ability to move forward in achieving your goals. So if you're trying to plan a vacation, it's hard to do that when you're in debt. Or if you're trying to just, sometimes actually when you're just trying to buy food, being in debt can really put a hamper to, the things that you need to get from the grocery store because your money is so tight. So debt could also affect your ability to provide for your kids in a way that you want to. Like maybe your kids need clothes or, need something for school. And if you're like heavy burdened with debt, you can't figure out how and when you're going to get that money to, take care of your child or get something for your child that in which they really need. And then at sometimes, because of that stress of having all that debt and your income is being snatched away from you as soon as you get paid because you have so many bills, sometimes you may find yourself looking for alternative ways to get this money really quick. Be it some sort of personal loan, or you might, take out some kind of loan that has a high interest, all for the sake of trying to make sure you meet that particular financial need. So the why of getting out of debt is very important. Acknowledging, to yourself and writing down is very important in a planner or a notebook or whatever you got, your phone, your tablet, is writing down the reason why you want to embark upon a debt-free journey. It is extremely important to make it known, or just to bring yourself to the awareness of, this is why I really need to do this, because this debt is impacting my life in so many ways. It's affecting me physically, it's affecting me mentally, it's affecting me obviously financially, and it's preventing me from doing things that I absolutely want to do. So why is it that I want to embark upon this debt-free journey? So once you come up with your why, and trust me, it won't take a lot of time to come up with the why, okay? The whys are real quick. They come fast. You'll know very quickly why you want to get out of debt. So once you realize the why behind why you want to get out of debt and get on a debt-free journey, because it's important to acknowledge the why of things, so that you can then set a plan. Then you want to ask yourself, okay, I know why. I figured it out, and I figured it out really quick. So when do I want this to start? And that when is important, that date is extremely important. As I mentioned in a previous video, it's important to have a start date, a rough start date, and an end date. That is extremely important. So you want to make sure you set aside a when do I want to embark upon a debt-free journey. And that when has to be serious. It has to be a serious when. It has to be a serious question to yourself. I can't tell y'all how many times that I've asked myself when. I really didn't ask myself the why, okay? I just didn't. But I have always asked many times over, when, Katina, when are you going to get serious and get on a debt-free journey, okay? When are you going to get serious and get yourself out of debt? When are you going to get serious enough to embark upon this journey so that you can, get the things that you want to get, so that you can be at a level of comfortability that you want to be on with your finances and with your family. So when is that going to happen? So again, I've asked myself when a lot, okay? And I never had a start date. I never had a real start date. It was always when, but I never had an answer for that when. I just was like, oh, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it at some point. Okay, my favorite was when I say, I'm going to do it sometime this week, okay? Or I'm going to do it sometime this month. And the fact of the matter is, you guys, sometime this week and sometime this month never comes for me, because I never set any kind of actual official dates on when I was going to get started. So when I have things, when I say stuff like sometime this week or sometime this month, it never really is the reality, okay? It just goes on and on and on. And eventually I'm on a whole new year saying the same thing all over again. So it's important that you really kind of think about the when. When do I want to start this process? Okay. And so for me, this year was the first time that I felt very, very strongly and very convicted and very serious about getting out of debt. So after asking myself the why, I came up with the when. So my when began in June of this year. So I finally decided that I was going to write down my plan and go ahead and execute it, right? So I have my why, now I have my when, and my when was, it will be June 1st, okay, is when the when started. So June 1st was when my debt-free journey actually kicked in, and I was very serious about it because I finally had a hard date, and I also have an end date. And this is specifically dealing with my credit card debt. And as I mentioned in another video, I break my debts down in categories. So right now, my focus was credit card debt because of the high interest and the burdens that it was causing me and my family to have so much of this credit card debt. So I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into the issues of consumer debt and credit card debt. So I did a little research, okay? I did a little bit of research, and I wanted to share with you guys what I've learned about debts. And I think this is important. It's important to do the research so that you kind of can get a bit of a background as to, what this debt looks like, how it affects you, and what it feels like overall. So I got just a little tad bit of research that I want to share with you. So as of September of this year, 2021, consumer debt is at about $14.96 trillion. Now that is consumer debt this year, 2021, as of September, is $14.96 trillion. That is a lot of debt, okay? That is a lot of debt here in the United States. And the average American debt among consumers, this is the average, you guys, okay, just the basic average among American consumers is $92,727. Again, that number on average Americans of debt is $92,727. That is an enormous amount of debt. And that's just average, okay? That's just basic average. So you can imagine, if you think a little bit about what that really, if you kind of like expand that and blow that out a little bit, it's way more than that for many Americans to have that sort of consumer debt. So when I talk about consumer debt, all right, that includes various categories. And again, this particular analysis is person to person, okay? Everybody's debt level is very different. Everybody, has a different level of debt and different categories of debt that exist among people. So it varies from person to person. But again, these are just average numbers. And it goes to show you that this country and many other countries we're just like sitting in a whole bunch of unnecessary debt, right? Okay. So this debt, this consumer debt that is referenced in my research is credit cards, student loans, mortgages, and other things such as like medical bills, personal loans, car loans, and things of that nature can make up that consumer debt total. So the average credit card balance, however, is around $5,315. Again, that's credit card balances on the average. And again, this number varies dependent upon the number of credit cards you got, okay? And I'm going to do a whole separate video about credit card debt and, you know, in terms of the pros and cons. In my opinion, there's more cons than pros. But it really depends on you as an individual and how you use your credit cards, right? But I'm going to do a whole separate video on credit cards, how many credit cards is reasonable to have, and our department store credit cards, is that something you really want to have? So I can't wait to share that information with you guys, because I'm talking and speaking from a personal level of a person who has a mixture of major credit cards and also department credit card debt as well. But I just wanted to share that information with you about the average credit card balances for average consumers is around $5,315. And again, that depends. That's on average. You know, I've seen that number very high. In my case, it was over $14,000. So you already know that that number can get outrageous, right? And so I also want to talk about a little bit, as I wrap this video up, about credit card debt and your journey and starting and when to start and why you should start, is I want to talk about the credit score component of this too, because as you embark upon your debt-free journey, you want to be cognizant of your credit score. You want to know what that is when you're starting your debt-free journey. That's very important. You want to take a look at your credit report, your full credit report. You want to look at your lines of credit and those you owe money to, and those things that are in collections, because I got a few things in collection, okay? With transparency, I do. And that it's going to be a whole separate plan that I work on. But the average credit score in the US is around 698, and that is based on the Vantage credit score data that was provided in February of 2021. So again, the average credit card score is around 698. Now, if that's the average, you can just imagine how many of us credit score is below that number, right? So you have, you know, some people that have a credit score in the 800s, but you also have on average this 698 number and under that, okay? So in conjunction with your decision to get on a debt-free journey and to go down this path and embark upon this road, it's important that you know what your credit score looks like before you start, you know, because you want to know where you're starting from so you can see where you're going to, right? Or you can see where you want to go to at least. So you want to see your starting point. You know, you want to see what that reality looks like. You want to see that, okay, my credit score is trash. And I want it to be at, you know, I at least wanted to see it to go up to like 650 or whatever your desires are for your credit score. As you're on your debt-free journey, you want to see that transition take place. Okay, that is a lot of motivation for you to see where you're starting from with your debt. Okay, where your credit score is and where you want that to be. And that is the whole purpose behind the why and the when you're getting ready and deciding to embark upon your debt-free journey. And that is also important in creating your start date and your end date to your debt-free journey. It might take a year, it might take 2 years, it might take 5 years. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you start the journey. What matters is that you start and get on this debt-free journey. It's important that you do so. If you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out because I got all these damn bills and I don't know what to do. Every time I get paid, my check is gone. I highly recommend you sit down and think about why you should get on a debt-free journey and when you're going to start that journey. so that you can be debt free and you can be free to do what you want. You can be free to save money. You can be free to be in control of your own financial destiny. That is extremely important. And that's really the main goal of getting on a debt-free journey, is so that you can be responsible for your own financial journey, right? Right. So thank you guys so much again for joining me. And again, I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for tuning in to my little channel about financial awareness for beginners, and I'm looking forward to the next video. My goal actually is to produce a video once a week and make sure that it is on YouTube and up so that you guys can see it. So again, thank you so much. You guys have an amazing day, and remember to take care of your inner self, okay? Don't forget to take care of your inner self. And be kind to your mental and your physical self. Thank you so much and have a great day.